Good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Things Sky Blue. We are an opposite fan page, and we're on Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, and TikTok. We are here today to basically review our season so far in terms of players. We're going to review every player's season in 3 words or less. I am part of All Things Sky Blue. Another member of All Things Sky Blue is usually the host of this thing, and he normally does a pretty good job, if I don't say so myself. Stuart, welcome, Stuart.
Hello, how are you?
All good, mate. All good. How's your week going?
Yeah, not too bad. I've finished today now. I've got a long weekend, so I've got Friday and Monday off, so it's quite nice.
Happy days. And we've also got another member of All Things Sky Blue joining us in Mark Smith. Hi, Mark.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing?
All good, thanks, mate. All good. How's your week?
Yeah, I've just come back from London today, so I'm looking forward to talking all things Sky Blue with you guys.
Excellent stuff. It's probably worth mentioning at this point as well. Yesterday, Stuart did a live IMO with Stuart, which was also on Facebook and X as well as YouTube. So if you can, please do go and check that out. It was a really good listen, to be honest. So essentially, we're going to go through the team today, the players that have played a few minutes at least, and kind of giving a 3 word or less review of how they're getting on. So we will start with Wilson.
Sorry, can I just say, mine aren't all 3 words or less. I have got maybe a couple of them 4. I've tried to make them as short as I can. Is that all right?
We'll let you off. Thank
you.
we're all learning here. So what we'll do is we'll kind of go around. I might change the order as we go. We'll start with Ben Wilson in goal. Mark, what's your 3 words or less on Wilson?
Excellent shot stopper.
I like it. Stuart?
Needs to command his box more.
Cool. I've gone for no debate anymore in terms of the Collins versus Wilson debate.
Okay.
That's what I've gone for. Stuart, I'll go to you first for Collins himself. What's your one?
To be fair, I did struggle with Collins, if I'm honest. And it was kind of... I didn't actually write this one down. So I haven't really prepared for that one, and I've kind of lost it. So Collins probably needs to do more in training.
That's fair. Mark?
I'm going to say our sweeper keeper, and that's because in the pre-season games, you like to play almost like it's a sweeper. So that's my one for Collins.
I should have took that one, to be fair, Mark.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was thinking, I hope please don't say that. So I'm quite happy you didn't say that.
I've gone for can't complain really, because I think Wilson's been excellent.
Yeah.
Liam Kitching, I don't mind going first with this one. I've gone for good initial impression. Stu?
Sweet left foot.
Mark?
Solid looking player.
Moving on to Joel Latabodier. Mark?
A future Cov captain.
Stu?
Current player of the season. Everyone knows how much I love him already.
I've gone for versatile and class, because I think that he's shown that flexibility across all positions, and he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Mark, Kyle McFadzean.
Our rock.
City legend already.
I like that. I've gone for digits with this one. So I put 36, but 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, good analogy. Yeah.
Lewis Binks, I'll go first. Want him permanently.
Okay.
Stuart?
Best of the loans.
Mark?
Stylish football player.
Cool. Just on Lewis Binks, Mark, do you think that he could be one of those players that's slightly underrated still within our fan base?
I think he's growing the fan base personally. I suppose when you think of all the chants we have about players, he's not one of them players that we really chant about. He's probably done better than arguably De Silva, maybe, but De Silva has obviously got the chant because it's quite a catchy chant. But I don't think that's nothing against Lewis Binks, but I think he's growing. I think the fans do realise we've got a good player. I saw him make his. Well, I watched the day against Exeter in the pre-season, and I thought, although he came on as a sub, he looked like someone who could do a job for the team. So yeah, I think he's done well. And we've got, in theory, we've got the money to put an offer in if we like him. But it depends on what our business is in January. So it's early days, but I think overall, yeah, he's created a really good impression for me.
Absolutely. Stuart, I'll come to you at some point with a player that we can expand upon as well.
Fine.
Bobby Thomas, Stuart.
The odd mistake.
Or you're similar to mine. I've gone for can be careless.
Mm-hmm.
Mark.
Little error prone.
They're all roughly about the same, aren't they? For Bobby, bless him.
To be fair, I think he started the season actually really well, actually. But I think there were a couple of games, I want to say Watford at home, where he made a few misplaced passes. And even
it was that short one that led to the goal, weren't it? That was the clear and obvious one for me, really.
Yeah.
And then he did the same. I think it was against. Was it against QP? I want to say QPR. Was it QPR?
I think their goal came from our left, though, didn't it?
No, he did it. Didn't he do a similar thing against QPR and they went through and they should have had a penalty, or was that somebody else?
Oh yeah, I know what you're referring to. Yeah, when he sort of let the ball run. And I think it was him. Yes, you're right. I know what you're saying now. Yes.
Yeah, it was a similar thing that he did for both. That obviously nearly led to a penalty and would have been Wilson sent off. Yeah. And then creating. It's just them short little passes. He doesn't always make sure that they get back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Have we all done Thomas? Sorry. Yeah, we've all done.
Yeah.
Moving on to Jay De Silva, I've gone player of season. Mark?
An exuberant left back.
I've just put nice and tidy player.
Yeah, I think that's bang on, to be fair. Jake Bidwell, Mark?
Backup left back.
Struggling to get in.
I've gone for could move on.
Yeah.
Because I think that in January, I think he will be one of those that is shifted, if you like. I think he's at that point in his career where he probably does want that first team football regularly.
The trouble is, though, right, what I've got an issue with, I don't really want him to go, is the honest answer. I would be sad to see him go because there's a consistent 7 out of 10, on a consistent basis. He took us to where we needed to go pretty much last season. And I know people are going to start saying, well, you've got Sakamoto that can play over that side. I'm still not defensively happy with him. Going forward is brilliant. And as a number 10, playing a certain team, I think he'd excel really, really well. I don't see him as a wing back long term, in all honesty. So in that case, we still need a left wing back. And I know he's not as going forward as De Silva is, but he's still consistent. And I think that's what you need. And I think he's a good player to have around.
I think the other thing to have with Jake Bidwell is he's versatile. He can play centre back as well. I mean, obviously we've got a plethora of centre backs, but he can play in that position. And I thought he did quite well for us last season. And you could argue maybe a bit unlucky not to be in the side. But having said that, it's clear that Mark Robins wants a dynamic left-sided wing back, and obviously Jay De Silva fits that bill. Bearing in mind he's got three centre halves. He's got a Kitching or a Binks on that left side who can cover whenever he goes forward. So Robins, I think, like to set his teams as being expansive, and that's why I think he's preferring him, which is understandable. But that's not a slight on Jake Bidwell. I think he's been a really good signing for us, and I think you could say he's been a bit unlucky. I don't think he's not been a bad player at all. I think defensively he's really sound.
No,
I rate him personally.
Yeah, I do as well. But because we've got, you've even got Latti that's played on that left-hand side, and I just think that the only place that he can go, something is going to have to go drastically wrong with injuries for him to be played in that left centre-back role. His only option for me is if De Silva's out and we're playing a different style of team that we're up against, and he goes on that left wing-back berth. He doesn't, for me, before the season started and we hadn't signed any centre-backs when we needed to, then yes, I would have said Bidwell, would get a chance to go there. But for me now, with the players that we got, he doesn't come anywhere close for playing that centre-back role. The only position for me that I see him playing in is that left wing-back, and he's probably even, third choice in that with Sakamoto being able to switch over that side as well, even though I don't particularly like him in that position, but obviously Robbins does, and he obviously sees him as a wing back. So
yeah,
I can't really see that happening.
Yeah, I think you both absolutely, got amazing points there. I think for me, it just encapsulates how far we've come in as a group of players. We are upgrading. Bidwell's not necessarily done anything wrong. It's just a case of you have to pick your best 11, regardless of how we did last season. Milan, let's go with Mark.
Our dynamic right back.
Okay.
I've gone for hashtag ATSB sponsored baller.
Oh, nice. I like it. Good lad.
I thought I'd leave it to you to say that, because I could have said that as well, but I thought I'll let you take that. I'll let you take the glory for that one.
Thanks, Mark, mate.
That's all right.
I've gone for future Prem star.
Nice.
With Cov, that is.
Hopefully with Cov, yes.
Goes
But
without saying.
Even if it's not, he'll be a future Prem star. Is brilliant.
This one, I've been a little bit naughty about, but Josh Eccles, Stuart.
I've put better at right wing back.
Mark?
Battling centre midfielder.
I've gone for question, and I've put this season's scapegoat. I think he gets singled out without good reason by some of the fans. I really do. Now, I don't know if it's because Jamie Allen hasn't been playing recently, which means that there's no one else for fans to have a go at. But I just think there's a lot of unrealistic expectation on him. And I don't think he's really had a bad game that I can remember. I don't know if you guys disagree.
I think. So my view on Eccles is, I think for majority of the game he does a really good job for the team. I know. If you look back at the Norwich game, and I said on your thing, the Twitter space, that it was Alan made it. It was actually Eccles, so it was my mistake. But Eccles did make a mistake for the first goal, and he can make a mistake. But look, any player can make mistakes. We talked about Bobby Thomas, who I think is a good player but has made mistakes. But I think it's dangerous to write players off. I think he is a good player. There is a talented player there, and I think he's also homegrown as well, which obviously is an added bonus. So I think he'll be a really good player for us. I think many possible criticism maybe is there are games I feel like he tires a bit towards the end, where he puts in so much work in say 85, 86 minutes, and he just struggles a little bit last few minutes. That's the only thing I could really sort of criticise him on. But I can understand why he signed a contract last season. I think he's got plenty to offer. So I think as fans, we've got to get behind him like we need to get behind every player. That's just my view.
Yeah, I think that's bang on. Ben Sheaf, Stuart.
Missed in midfield.
I've gone for we miss him. That's a point on the board. Mark.
He's here. He's there.
I like it. Jamie Allen.
You're taking Glenn's, isn't you? You are.
Well, as I said, I didn't I didn't want to swear. I didn't want to swear on so I didn't want to say that word because there's children listening. But he's here, and he's there, and that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, like it.
Jamie Allen, I've put welcome back, Jamie. Mark,
Yeah, a welcome comeback.
The energy we need.
really good shout. Liam Kelly, Stu.
This is probably the longest worded one that I've done, to be fair.
Oh, here we go.
We'll leave City legend at the end of the season.
Do you think this will be his final season
Yeah.
in his career, or just for Cov?
No, probably just for Cov. I think he might take a step down to, maybe a higher level League One team, or even a higher level League Two team. But as a Championship player, unless they've just come up, like we did with Doyle and people like that, I can kind of see him maybe going and doing that sort of job at a newly promoted side. But for a Coventry team that wants, playoff every single, as many seasons as we can get, and maybe get to the Premier League, with his injuries that he's starting to pick up. He picked up an injury last season. I know he come back okay, and towards the end he was brilliant, but he's just picked up another injury. And with the money that we've brought in, we've got Ayari there, we've got Jamie Allen coming back, we've got Palmer to come back, we've got Sheaf to come back, we've got Eccles in there, we've got Latty that can play in there now. That's 7 players that are potentially, for me, ahead of him in that central midfield role. So I just think he's going to see his time watered down a little bit, maybe. And he will leave a City legend. I've got no question about that at all, because of where he's been with us for such a long time. I think I saw something that, he's been with us for like 6 years. So he will leave a City legend, but I do think he will go at the end of the season.
Your 3 words, Mark?
Backup midfielder.
I've gone for need his experience. We have decided to include Ryan Howley. Now we know he's out on loan in Scotland, but he has played a few minutes for us this season. Mark, what's yours for Howley?
Needs more experience.
Mine's very similar. I've gone for loan was needed. Stuart?
Promising rising star.
Amazing. Yasin Ayari, I've gone for out of seat, because I think he will be one of those players, and he's already started to, for me, that will get fans out of their seat. I've got no doubt about it. Stu?
Need more work out of him.
Mark?
Will entertain fans. In a good way.
Tatsuro Sakamoto, Stuart.
Much more to come.
Mark?
Tattoo on the wing.
I've gone for defences are terrified. This one might ruffle some feathers. What I'm saying here, I'm kind of referring to the past 7 or 8 years. So for Casey Palmer, I've gone for no injuries, Premier. Mark?
Casey Palmer, too injury prone.
Still more to come.
Ellis Sims, Mark?
Will score goals.
Is that what Stuart's gone
That's
for?
exactly the words I used. Will score goals.
Shall I think of something else?
Yeah,
No.
I reckon so, since I've done the homework.
Well, they say great minds think alike, and clearly
we'll go with that.
Yeah, we're both convinced.
Yeah, he will score goals.
Either that, or we're just nicking each other's ideas. I've gone for top scorer soon, because I I think he will be our highest goal scorer this season. Would you agree with that, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Victor Gyökeres didn't start slowly, and people thought, "Oh, what's this all about? Why we signed him?" And the rest is history. So I think Ellis Sims will. I think he will deliver for us. And last few games, certainly since Huddersfield game, he's been really good. So yeah, keep the faith. He's definitely a starter for me. Certainly for next game. I wouldn't have him and Haji Wright. I was in the minority of not starting with him and Haji Wright. I would have got him in the team, but each their own, I guess.
Matty Godden, Stuart.
Wow, this kind of answers your previous question. My one for Godden is top goal scorer if stays injury free.
I've gone for rises to occasions. Mark?
Our best finisher.
100% agree with that. And the final player, we've got Haji Wright. I've gone for decent, still adapting. Mark?
Hot and cold.
I like that one.
Mm.
I've put impact player at the moment.
Stuart made a really good point, I think it was last Sunday, about, I don't think it was just Wright, was it, Stuart? I think it was Sims as well, about the lack of pressing.
Yes.
Mark, Mark, do you think that could be something that both strikers, if not all strikers, need to work on?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were a little bit cagey, weren't we? I think I like to see, particularly at home. I want to see our strikers press. I don't want to see Norwich make it easy for Norwich to play their way and just have comfortably have the ball. I guess the counter argument is that if you press too much and you don't win it, then it leaves gaps. So I think it's about timing of the press as well and understanding. And that's something they have to work on the training ground. And I'm sure that's something Mark Robbins will be looking at is when to press, when not to. But I felt they could have pressed more. I do agree with that. I thought, particularly, I think Stuart made a good point in the Twitter space on Sunday where we're training the game, and we've got to go. Sometimes you have to go a little bit hammer and tongs to get that equaliser because I just felt it was a bit too easy for me at times. That's a criticism. I kind of get why they didn't, but equally, I think the fans just want to see a bit more. So I think it's a fair criticism, and that's something I'd like to see a bit more of going forward for the next games.
Yeah, I mean, I always come back to kind of what we've all said is we don't know what's been told by Mark Robbins and his staff. I always come back to when Fankaty Dabo was getting, fans saying all sorts about him not going further up the pitch. And we'd never really understood if it was a Mark Robbins thing or a Dabo thing. My money would be on it being an instruction. But as fans, we never truly know the answer to that, really. I'm going to throw a couple more out there that I've not warned you guys about. So this will be on the hoof. They like to keep us on our toes here. Stuart, our season so far.
Frustrating at times.
Mark?
Steady, not spectacular.
And I'll go for got the goods. We've got the ingredients. We just need to bring them all together.
Yeah.
The fans, Mark.
Our 12th man.
As loud as ever.
Best in land. And finally, Mark Robbins, Stuart.
King of the city.
Mark?
Cov legend forever.
I'm going to go for our genius king. Cool. That was quite good. Stuart, do you mind doing the outro because you're better at it than I am?
Yeah, no worries, mate. That's fine. Just remember where you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Facebook. We are on YouTube as well. So if you don't already, please go and like and subscribe. There are some good videos out there. We've just recently done one with All Things Sky Blue member Danny and Josh's uncle Keith for the Mental Health Day. So please go and have a look at that, having a listen to their stories. And again, please go and like and subscribe. Much appreciated. And we'll be doing a Twitter space at 9 o'clock, or an X space, I should say nowadays, at 9 o'clock.
Excellent stuff. Were you going to carry on then?
No.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say thank you so much, Stuart and Mark, for doing this. Hopefully, if you guys can let us know wherever you see this, whether it be YouTube, whether it be TikTok, let us know in the comments. If you could tell us your 3-word review of the season so far and tell us which players have impressed you the most. We'll try and get back to those comments and respond. But thank you all for joining us. As Stuart says, please follow us on socials and look out for us on social media with upcoming shows and interviews. And play up Sky Blues. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Sky Blues.
Cheers, guys.